Hours before I had to come up here, so I haven't got to eat yet. So while we're doing this, feel free to continue to eat. I am really excited about tonight. It has been a long time in coming. Do any of you remember going to conferences in Frisco or about 1989? 99, something like that. That's when I first joined Kala. There wasn't very many of us then, and I left shortly after that. But we were talking about having an awards conference or an awards dinner many, many years now. And it finally come to pass. This is our first Kala Awards banquet. And I have to tell you, there are a lot of people here that worked really hard to make this happen. I was not one of them, but there are many, and I think it's great. I think we're off to a great start. We have a keynote speaker for tonight. And if I don't screw this up, we're in great shape. It might be our last awards conference, too. Our speaker today is Lon Kieffer. Okay. I knew I was going to blow it right away. Lon is a nationally known speaker, author, and consultant of Common Sense. A past recipient of the Administrator of the Year designation awarded by the Delaware Healthcare Association. Lon has maintained his licensure as a registered nurse throughout his career in administration, but possesses the wisdom not to actively use it. As a former professional stand-up comedian, cancer survivor, and single father of two shockingly beautiful children, obviously those are his words because I've never seen them. Lon has developed insights and sensitivities that help him appeal to audiences as he walked the walk before he started to talk the talk. Newsweek, Good Morning America, and The View are just a few of the publications and shows that have never had a single thing to say about Lon Kieffer. As an expert in workplace, culture, change, and the phenomenon identified as caregiver dilemma, Lon and his banded alter ego, Doc, defender of caregivers, is quickly gaining the reputation as the hardest working and most entertaining motivational speaker in the healthcare industry today. That is, in the humble words of Lon Kieffer. Despite his humor, Lon is a serious educator and postgraduate level professor offering national accredited nursing continuing. Boy, this is a whole mouthful of stuff. National accredited nursing continuing educational programs and has addressed more than 30 statewide national associations. Lon is here today with his program, When Generations Collide, Respect Your Others. Please join me in welcoming Lon for his program. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We got it? We got it now? We're good. We're good. Thank you for that introduction. It was a wonderful
wonderful introduction. It was a 20-second introduction. Anyway, I'm here to talk about when generations collide, respect your others. We've all been raised when respect your elders, right? Right? This is participation, folks. Keep eating, but let me know you're there. Respect your elders is how we've all been raised. Well, that's not enough in healthcare. It's got to be respect your others, because we not only have to respect our elders, we have to respect everyone, the people that work with us, work for us, the families of the people we care for, what have you. Not only that, the stigma of whether it be assisted living or long-term care or SNF or what have you, it's not just about the elders anymore. It's about just about any age. There's specialty units out there, specialty homes out there that are providing services to all different ages and all different types of needs. So respect your elders is not enough. It's got to be respect your others. And one of my sayings is I like to do a little rap, on the weekends, is, respect your others. They may not be yours, but they're somebody's children, they're somebody's mothers. Word. So anyway, there are 4 different generations in the workplace today. There are 4 different generations in the workplace today, and even more so when we're caring for the elderly and the children that come to visit them and what have you. We've got to pay attention to all 4 different generations. We've got the traditionalists, we've got the baby boomers, we've got Gen X, and we've got Generation Y. And they all have their own morals, ethics, values, and beliefs that are formed on their experiences. And we all have stereotypical views of each of those generations. And if we judge each individual based on those stereotypes, we'll never get to know the individuals. So, just so that we can be reminded of that, of what it is we view other people as, I'm going to introduce myself 4 different times. 1 for each of the generations. Are you ready for this? Yeah. All right. So we're going to start by taking off this jacket. Okay? We're going to take off the jacket. We're going to loosen up the tie just a little bit. We're going to roll up the sleeves to show that we're working really hard, on our manly forearms. Ready for this? Okay. My name is Kieffer, and I am a baby boomer. That's right. Deal with it. That's right. I'm a member of the biggest, baddest generation on the planet today. When we grew up, there were so many of us, we fought for everything. So that's what we are. We're fighters. Whether it be the boardroom, the ball field, or the bedroom, we will kick your... So anyway, whatever it is you need kicking, we're the generation to do it. We fought for everything. When we were kids growing up, playgrounds, let's talk about them for a minute. Stainless steel on concrete. Remember that? You know what was waiting for us at the end of the slide? That's right, broken glass. I drove by a playground on the way here the other day. They had a tarp over the whole thing so the kids didn't get too much sun. Heck, we didn't have sunblock when I was a kid. You know what they put on us? They lathered us up in oil. That's right. You know why? So we wouldn't stick to the slides. That's what that's all about. These kids, we coddle them too much. I'm a baby boomer. Before I get too far into this, I want to give a shout out to the traditionalists. I want to let you know I appreciate you. I honor you. I respect you. You built this country. You built the company that I work for. You built the roads that we drove on. But I want to remind you of something. I'm in charge now. I'm the one driving the car. It's my hand on the wheel. You're welcome to sit in the back and come along for the ride as long as you remember that. But if you think you're touching the wheel again, you're going to have to go up to Walmart and be a greeter like the rest of your family. That's right. I'm a boomer. I'll say what I need to say. That's right. And you Gen Xers out there, quit your whining. What is it? You want to have a career or you want to be a coach of a soccer team? You're going to have to choose. I don't know which one it's going to be. Generation Y, all I got to say to you is you're going to have to show up early. You're going to have to tie your shoes. You're going to have to work a little bit harder. My name's Kieffer. I'm a baby boomer. My motto is, I'm fat, I'm 50, but I'm fine. Is that ringing true? All right. Next generation, we're going to roll the sleeves back down. And we're going to button up the cuffs. According to the literature, this is all literature-based. It might be humor, but it is, it is knowledge I'm dropping on here, not just some laughs. According to the literature, it takes roughly 18 years to define a generation. you know, there's some baby making that needs to be going on, some raising, some rearing, all that sort of stuff before they can have their own personality type and their own morals, ethics, values, and beliefs. But as one generation looks at the other and we want to criticize them, I always remind you, before you criticize the next generation, remind yourself of who raised them or who trained them. Because you have a lot to do with the next generation that's coming up behind you and a lot of influence on the one that's ahead of you. So where are we going now, right? Got everything, we're tightening the tie back up, putting the jacket back on. We're going to go over to the podium. Is this off or on? It's on? You might want to turn it off, I don't know. So here we are, a little bit more formal. We're going to get out some index cards because we've written down our thoughts here. First, we're going to put on the glasses. Down. Kieffer, lawn, traditionalist. Even though I noticed some of the less experienced folks are still coming in the room, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Because I always believe if you don't care what time it is, you don't care what we're talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Important stuff we're doing here, very serious stuff, critical if you will, critical stuff we're doing here. We got to do it well, we got to do it fast. We already started late. I know you Gen Xers probably got soccer practice you're going to have to go to soon, so want to hit it hard, hit fast, and want to do it really well because you baby boomers, let's face it, when you're in charge, you're going to screw it all up, so you got to do it right. All right, name's Kieffer, I'm a traditionalist. I'd like to shout out to a couple of you, baby boomers. I don't know why you think you're all bad and tough just because there's more of you got there before the others. There's a saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Keep that in mind. That's what I got to tell you. Before I get too far, I want to tell you that when you come up to me and say, Lon, Mr. Kieffer, what was it like back in the day? Don't like that? Not cool. Disrespectful. Now, don't like it. When you refer to me as old school, I like that. Because old school reminds me of the way it was. You used to go to class, you used to study, do what you were told. Each year you move forward. Not like now where you think you're going to move in and get it all given to you. So old school's okay, but not back in the day. All right, now I'd like to reach out to Gen Xers. I don't get it. I don't understand. You think you're the most misunderstood generation? I acknowledge that. I misunderstand you. Yep. What's important to you is work-life balance. That's what marriage is for. Oh, no, don't paint me with that brush. It's not a sexist comment. It's just that, you can both have a career and a family. But if you're going to make one a priority over the other, one of you has to make work a priority, the other one has to make family a priority. If you're both going to make both a priority, that's 4 things, that's too many. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. I'd like to reach out to the millennials out there, the Generation Y. I'd like to tell you a couple things just coming from the heart. Don't like your hair. I'm not lying about that. That's just me. Seems to me if you would even that up, you wouldn't have to walk around with your head tilted all the time. Don't like your music. Except for Jack Johnson and Green Day, I like them, but everybody else don't like your music. Don't like your tattoos or your piercings. And I think you look like a fool with your pants on the ground. Just saying. That's just me. So my name's Lon Kieffer. I'm a traditionalist. And my motto is, I'm too old school for cool. Thank you very much. You hitting them? You getting them all? Alright. So we got this out of the way. Now for this next one, the tie's going to come off completely. Took that off once without taking the mic off and it caused problems for the AV guy. I thought it was kind of funny. So loosen up the collar a little bit now that we took the tie off anyway. We're going to undo the cuffs again, but now we're going to tuck them under because it's more stylish. Are you ready for this one? Hey everybody, how you doing? Lon Kieffer, Generation X, and I'm really excited to be here today. Yeah, I'm really excited. I get to represent my whole generation. And you know why that's so exciting to me is because my generation, Generation X, is the most misunderstood generation there is out there. People just don't understand how work and life can be both very important to me, and how you can do both with proper planning and teamwork. So I want to thank you all for that. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I want to thank the traditionalists for going first, and the traditionalists anyway, I want to thank them for going first, because I was supposed to start. Normally today's not my day for, after school carpool, but, my wife Donna, she's stuck at home because Comcast is coming today between 12 and 4. Yeah. The kids wanted Nickelodeon in high def, so we're doing that. I'm not lying to you. It's going to be Comcast, and we're really excited. We're really excited about that. So I want to thank them for going first. But work-life balance is very important to me. Oh, excuse me. My daughter. Hey, honey. Yeah. Oh, I know, honey. No, I'm not up to nothing. Nothing's going on over here. What can I? It's an emergency. I'm the only one that can help you. Okay. Yeah. Remember, Dad told you about that thing he had to do where he was speaking in front of a bunch of people? Yeah, that's kind of right now. So, you sure Mom can't help you? She's in the other room. Oh, only I can help you. Oh, honey, now I'm really getting angry because you're just going to have to find your own Uggs. I mean, after all, you are 15 years old. Now, I'm really getting, I'm saying goodbye now. Tell me you love me. Don't hang up angry. Tell me, I love you too, honey. Bye-bye. I'm sorry you had to see that. Tough love. I mean, if you don't set limits on these kids, Lord knows how they're going to turn out. But anyway, as I was saying, I'm a Generation X, and I feel we're the most misunderstood generation there is. And I'd like to explain why it is that we want a work-life balance. Because you see, we think life is all about, well, it's not that we live to... Well, anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to the traditionalists. I wanted to thank you for everything. You created the company, you created our country. I respect you so much, but I would like to ask you one favor. Could you maybe retire? Because, like, if you don't move on, I can't move up. Could you do that for me? Could you just move on? And you baby boomers, what is your deal? You're not that big and you're not that bad. You were just here a little bit before me. You know I can outwork you, and it intimidates you. And you try and bully me, because that's what bullies do. Nah, you ain't all that you think you are. That's right. And I'd like to... Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh, it's just the office. It's okay. They know I'm here. So anyway, I'd like to reach out to the millennials, Generation Y. Could you all do me a favor? Could you start showing up to work on time, or at least let us know, because everybody confuses our generations. Because we're younger than them, they think we're the same. When I'm going to be late or can't be there, I make arrangements and plans so that things go on without me. When you're going to be late or not there, you're just late or not there. And it confuses people. Anyway, my name is Kieffer, and I'm a Generation Xer. And my motto is, I work to live. That's right. I'm drinking water. I don't care where it is. Okay. Now, next generation. I need water. Next generation. I tell you, I've not been here 24 hours. My health has declined dramatically. I'll tell you what, when I got here, I thought I was in pretty good shape. Now I can't walk up steps and water in hallways. I'm drinking water like I'm a diabetic. I'm taking oxygen. I'm being like I'm on a diuretic. I gotta get out of town. So this next generation, we're gonna take this off entirely. That's right. That's right. That's right. Last time I took off my clothes in public was, well, never. Okay, we got one more thing we got to do. Make the belt so it's utterly useless. Ready? Yo, what's up? That's right. Lon Kieffer, Generation Y. I am so stoked to be here. I am so stoked. I always said if you just give me a chance to talk, I'll give a talk like you've never heard before. The talk I'll give will plumb the depths of your soul and span the heights of your imagination. Will lend you a new and broad horizon against which you can judge all future and subsequent lifetime experiences to derive from them their true form, substance, and texture. Yeah. The talk I would give would forever change your perception of reality and your belief in that which is possible. If you just give me a chance to give a talk, I'd give a talk that would provide me intellectually emotional experience that would only be described as exotic, if not erotic. Are you ready for that talk? Yeah, are you ready for that talk? Yeah. Well, I've never actually given a talk before, but I'm sure if you gave me a chance, that's the talk I would give. It's not whether I've done it or not, it's that I can do it. Just let me try and I'll bust that thing out. So, anyway, so what? Oh, this was my chance to give that talk? Wait a minute. This right here, right now, this is my chance.
Yes.
Oh, wait, how are you going to do me like that? How are you going to give me my chance without telling me you're giving me my chance? You expect me to come to work ready to go every day? Unbelievable. All right, anyway, I got to get this real quick because, the traditionalist is going to come up here in a second and introduce themselves. What? Oh, they already came up? Oh, well, I'm sure the boomers got to get up. Oh, they've been here too. Oh, my bad. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I'm Generation Y. I'm Generation Y, and I got insights that I think I can share with people. I use technologies in ways that you all don't understand. Generation X, they think they're misunderstood. I'm the one that's misunderstood. I can do things if you just give me a chance, give me some respect. Generation X thinks they're misunderstood. All they do is whine about stuff. And the boomers, man, I don't get y'all at all. You're mean to everybody. Traditionalists, I respect you. I appreciate you so much. You all are the ones that were there for me when my parents weren't. You were there when I came home from school. If you need me to do something for you in the workplace or at home or wherever it is, I would totally do that stuff for you. Now, you'd have to tell me, exactly what you needed, and exactly when you needed it, and exactly how you needed it, and maybe give me 2 or 3 reasons why you needed it. But if you did all that, I would completely do those things for you. That's right, I'm there for you. Much love for you. That's right. Baby boomers, you can do all that for me, promise me a new car and a raise. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't doing it for you because y'all are mean. And Generation X, all I'd like to say to you is quit your whining. You really got it pretty good. You got careers, you got families, and all you ever do is whine about everything. Your time will come. Just quit worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. It's working for me. My name's Lon Kieffer. I'm Generation Y, and my motto is, it's all good. Oh boy, did we get them? Did we get all the generations? Do you see these generations in the workplace? Do you see these personalities play out? Do you see how, there's a lot of clashing points between these generations. And we're going to talk about where they are and how we can get around them a little bit. But I want to throw something else in there. I want to throw in there on top of that the fact that you're in a caregiver setting. Everybody in this room is either a caregiver by nature or by nurture. You're either here because it's in you or you've learned it because you're here. One way or the other, you have this caregiver personality. And you go around trying to please other people. And sometimes you forget about yourself in the process. But you also can sometimes forget about the other people and what they bring to the equation because you're trying so hard to please them that you're not able to slow down and look back at things. For example, caregivers, they don't even know how to take compliments. The people getting the awards tonight, I'm going to tell you something that I don't want you to do. I don't want you to diminish it. I want you to stand up here and be proud. Because what caregivers do when they get complimented is they say, it's just my job. I'm just doing my job. When they get criticized, they say, I'm sorry, I'll fix that. So they go around deflecting praise and absorbing criticism. Caregivers don't know how to take a compliment. Caregivers don't know how to be proud of themselves. Yeah, I'm good. They don't know how to be proud of themselves. You know, because I want to read a quick excerpt from you for you from this here, my book. Blah, blah, blah. If the caregiver denies themselves the conscious acknowledgement of praise or a feeling of accomplishment until the work is done, they will never receive such praise because their work will never be done. You never see your work is done. You always have more to do. And it's so hard for you to take praise and take compliments for what you do. So when you get these awards tonight, I want you to be proud of them. I want you to just take a moment to absorb what everybody's giving you and be thankful for it. I'm proud of all kinds of stuff. I'm going to take credit for everything. One of the things that I'm really proud of is that it has been 6 months since I've had a cigarette. Now, I'm not a smoker. I never have been. But I'm proud of myself. Forget your to-dos, focus on your to-dos. If you focus on things you've done, it's easier to do the next thing that comes along. Okay, let's talk a little bit about how these generations can clash. You want to talk about how you're in let's say you go out to dinner. A traditional family goes out to dinner. And a traditional family now is not a traditional family from before. A traditional family now might be a patriarch, a traditional man, going out to dinner with his baby boomer son, who's been quite successful, who is remarried to a Generation X woman and has a child who is a Generation Y son. And they all go out to dinner together to have a good time. I mean, you can see right now why this is going to be a disaster, right? I mean, this is going to be a disaster because they're all. But let's just talk about clothing. Let's just talk about how they dress. You know, the traditionalist is there, and you know he's got on his best clothes, his corduroy jacket, his black pants. You know, and then you've got the baby boomer son who's there, and he's been successful, so he's got on his pinstripe, his ascot, his really expensive cufflinks. You know, and then you've got his wife who's trying to dress up for her husband, so she's trying to wear something that's really sexy. And then you've got the Generation Y kid there, so he's got the saggy pants on, and he's sitting there looking at his cell phone. And all these people, they're all judging each other. But they're also all trying to take care of each other at the same time. The young child is looking at the grandfather, and he's embarrassed, not of him, but for him, because he loves and respects him. He wants him to look better when he goes out. You know, the traditionalist father is looking at his son, and he's saying, why does he have to show off all the time? Why can't he just have a nice dinner? You know, and then he's looking at his younger wife, and he's saying, she looks like a floozy dressed up like that. And then the young kid is looking at the stepmother, and he's thinking, she's too old for that dress. But she does look kind of hot. And then an argument breaks out between the traditionalist and the son about nothing. An argument about Vietnam or World War II. And they're going back and forth. And let's just put a caregiver in there. Let's put two caregivers in there. Let's say that the Generation Y, the young kid, is a caregiver, and the woman is a caregiver. So what she's got going on, she sees that the kid's not having fun. She says to him, put a smile on your face. You know, smile. She says to the grandfather, she says, you got a little something, you know, there. And then she says to the husband, hush up, you know, be quiet. So she's trying to take care of everybody. And then they all focus on the Generation Y, the youngest one, who's sitting there on his cell phone. And they give him a bunch of crap. Come on, put that phone away, sit up. Well, what they don't know, if they just give him 15 more seconds, he'd have the answer to the argument. And everybody would be able to have a good time. Right? So let's talk a little bit about communication in the generations. I'm not checking my text or anything. I'm checking my time. Let's talk about, no, I am. I'm going to try, because they evaluate speakers not based on by what you say, but based on when you finish. So, let's just talk about communication. Here's the greatest lesson I'm going to teach you all. And I know there's kids in the room, so I'll clean it up a little bit. Somebody once asked Warren Buffett what was the best advice he ever got. And the best advice he ever got was, if you want to tell somebody, he said that the privilege to tell somebody they are, I'll just say, a jerk, never expires. The privilege to tell somebody they're a jerk never expires. So my take on that is you don't have to be in such a rush to do it. We've got emails out there, we've got texts out there. I mean, how many people will send an email or a text? Text, I understand. But how many people will send an email to somebody that they work 10 feet away from? It's really kind of passive-aggressive, because as soon as you send that email, it's like, it's their problem now. I sent that email. Or you send a text. Now, how many people have gotten themselves into a situation where a text has been misinterpreted? Or an email hasn't been read. Because there's no validation, there's no closure in this type of relationship. How many people have gone to send a negative email to somebody, maybe joking about an email they just got, and then realize they replied at all? Have you done this? So the thing of it is, when it comes to communication across the generations, they all view it very differently. Traditionalists believe face-to-face is the way to go. The baby boomer, they don't really care how it happens, as long as it reinforces that they're in charge. Generation X, facts are nowhere near as important as emotions. I'll take criticisms as long as you tell me my hair looks nice at the end of it. And Generation Y, they don't want any direct information. They want it all electronically. They think that direct is for confrontation. So how are these generations supposed to talk to each other? It's very hard to do that. Let's talk about the concept of time. The concept of time. The traditionalist believes that if you have a meeting, you show up early and prepared. Right? The baby boomer, they just want to show up early so they don't look unprepared. The Generation Xer, they're just trying not to be late. And the millennial, it is what it is. It is what it is. Now let's throw the caregiver in there, because the caregiver has got so much going on. They don't know whether they're pleasing themselves today, pleasing other people. They don't know whether they should be early and prepared. They don't know whether they should take care of this errand they promised to run on the way. Caregivers are ruled a lot of times by confusion and doubt. Who should we spend the time with? How many of you in this room have your own alarm clocks in your bedroom set on the wrong time? Intentionally. You have it set ahead of time. How many? Let me see your hand. So what is that all about? What is that all about? You have the concept of time like a Labrador Retriever or something? What are you setting your alarm clock ahead? Have you ever gotten out of bed when it goes off and go into work and say, why am I so early? No, what you're doing is you're creating confusion in your life. Because you need that sort of constant chaos going on to be motivated. So you set your alarm clock ahead. Rather than just leave it on the regular time and set it to get up earlier, you actually set the actual time ahead. What's the number you use? 10 minutes? Is that universal? Anybody use different? 10 minutes is the number you use? Huh? You use 7? I like your answer. You're pretty close to mine. It's 10 or 15. The math is too easy. There's no confusion there. And what's motivating you is confusion. You want to get a number where the math is a little bit more difficult. Like use a prime number, greater than 10 but less than 20. Like, 13, 17, 19, something like that. 13 is my personal favorite. So when the alarm clock goes off, I wake up and I know I can hit the snooze alarm. And when I wake up the second time, it's actually 4 minutes earlier than it was the first time. See how this works? And if I'm really tired, I can hit the snooze alarm again. And then when I wake up, I'm only 5 minutes late, and I can make up for that by being in the shower. Did I mention that I was a single man? Okay. Because here's what, let me get another drink here. I want to talk about how everybody follows direction and how I can notice each different generation. If you could for a minute, take your right hand and put it in the air in the form of a 0. Because I know this is how much credibility every speaker has until they prove themselves. So I want you to hold it up there for a minute, and I want you to just hold it up there for a minute and let the words that I say absorb into your cranium. Okay? I'm going to tell you to do something in a second, and when I tell you to do it, I want you to go ahead and do it. And then I'm going to tell you which generation you're in. Okay, very quickly, I want everybody right now to take this 0 and put it immediately on your chin. Go. Okay, now how many of you had it up here on your forehead when I did that? All right, put it back up there if you had it on your forehead. And now go like this with it. Now, what's that stand for? Loser. No, I wouldn't call you a loser. That stands for lucky, you know, it's love, laugh, and learn, because that's a hell of a lesson in leadership. People will do what you do, not what you say. Now, the reason I do that, and a lot more of you put it on your forehead than you admitted to, I'll tell you that too, but I can tell each generation by how they follow directions. You tell the traditionalists to do this, it goes straight up. You know, you tell them what to do, it goes immediately where they told you to, you know, it's almost like they don't even see you, they just hear the words, it goes immediately to the chin. You know, almost militaristic. Very formal, they're going to follow you. The baby boomers, they don't really, you know, care what you're saying. They're just going to be the first one there. They're moving their arms so quick, they're hitting feet. You know, they don't care. The Xers, the Generation Xers, they're hesitating a little bit because they don't care whether they're right or wrong. They just want to be in the same place that the people at their table end up. And Generation Y is saying, why is everybody's hand in the air? That's right. What if I told you there was going to be a test on the content this evening? The traditionalists would be upset, because if there was going to be a test, they would have wanted to get the material ahead of time so that they could study. Okay? The baby boomers, all they want to know is if it's going to be graded on a curve. because they must be better than average. All 80 million of them have to be better than average. Generation X, they say, well, if there's a test, let me take it beforehand, and if I pass, I don't have to go to the meeting. And Generation Y is saying, if you can write a test, that means the information is available, we can go get it on the internet when we need it. So each of these generations have different things they have different perspectives. But the point of it is we cannot judge individuals based on their generation. Judging the generation that way is fine, but to judge the individual is very unfair. None of us feel that we fit perfectly into that generation. It's not fair to label us in the workplace. I asked my breakout earlier, how many of you believe that Generation Y does not have the appropriate work ethic like your generation did? Nobody will admit to that.
She will.
Yeah, people believe that. That might be fair, but it's probably not. They probably haven't had challenges because everything's been given to them. And I'm going to read a little passage about that before I go into my big close here. But you've got to remember something. Generation X feels that they're the most misunderstood generation. There's about 45 million of them. There's about 75 million traditionalists. There's about 80 million boomers. And there's about 76 million Generation Y. So Generation X is by far the smallest. So they probably do feel misunderstood. But if you think of Generation Y, they're the lowest in rank just by experience. So they've got 200 million other people judging them harshly. They do things differently. That's the only message that I'm going to share to you. And if they were challenged more, they would do things more to your liking. I want to read you this quick passage. This is How Do I Love Thee? Tell Me So I Can Count the Ways, which is a short story that I have. I grew up on hard concrete and cold stainless steel playgrounds, yet I think wistfully of my youth. As parents, we try to instill these same memories in our kids, but we've forgotten the context of our memories. We have fond memories despite not having everything we ever wanted. Had we gotten everything we ever wanted, what would our memories be today? We would remember the few things we did not get. So it was wonderful that we did not get so much. In return, we got great memories and not one earthly idea of how to give this same gift to our children because we're busy giving them everything they want. When I was a kid, I look back as a father and all I want to do is give my kids the same experiences I had. And I feel like I'm a failure because I haven't given them that. Then I realized when I was growing up, all I had was like a stick and a creek. I've given my kids far more than that. So when we're going through this in the workplace, let's try not to be so quick to stereotype others because we can learn from everybody in every walk of life. And we need to look at our peers in this industry for our own direction. What do you do when you're in stress? What do you do when you need support? Usually call somebody you've always known. Call your friends. Call your family. If you call somebody you've always known, you're going to get something you've always known. They're going to defend you, not the situation. Give you an example. I called my buddy Bill. I went to graduate school with him. He went on to get his PhD. He wanted me to go with him. I said, no, I've got a child. I want to finish my degree and go home and raise my kids and have, get back with my family. And a couple years ago, I called him. I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And he did. He went on and got his PhD. He's like a rock star now. He goes all around the country lecturing. And I called him up, and I said, is this Dr. Horace? And he said, is this Lanchkovich? Because that was like cool back in the day. That's what he called me, Lanchkovich. And we're talking, and I said, I'm in trouble. I need some guidance. I need some perspective. And he said, dude, you should have gone on to get your PhD. He goes, dude, yeah, two dudes. We're almost 50 years old. He's, dude. Third dude, I'm hanging up the phone. I don't care. But he goes, dude, every day I work with 19 and 20-year-olds. They make me feel so young. So then I looked at my situation running a nursing home. Every day I work with 92-year-olds. I am young. It's not where you are, it's the perspective that you have about where you are. Some of the most amazing things, don't ever think that you're really in charge. Don't ever think that if you're a caregiver that people aren't caring for you or that you can't learn from other people. I've learned so much working in healthcare all these years. This one of the things, it's undeniable. The little old lady's taught me this at the nursing home. And that is that I get better looking every day. That's right. That's right. A couple of hundred women can't be wrong. And these are experienced women. A bunch of cougars we got down there. That's right. And after a while, when people come up to you and say things like, you're so handsome, you're so handsome. You hear that a couple of hundred times. After a while, you start to believe it. And they come up to you and you have to say, I am good looking. We all have crosses to bear. That's one of mine. So regardless of the setting you're in, you can find something positive about it. I've actually gotten to the point where I'm happy that I have chronic knee pain now. Because I never took my fish oil, my baby aspirin, or my daily vitamin. I always forgot. I wake up in the morning, I can't even walk to the medicine cabinet quick enough to take my Aleve and all the other stuff. So the pain's saving my life. Look for the positives. Look for the positives. Another thing I learned in a setting not unlike yours. We had a gentleman in my nursing home who liked to walk around the grounds. And we started to get worried about him because his walks were longer and his dementia started to be a little bit more pronounced. And rather than disrespect him, by confronting him and not letting him go out, we just adopted a rule that we would walk with him. Okay? Well, I was walking through the lobby one day, and I heard the staff going, oh, not again. Garfield wanted to go for another walk. Well, here I am in my brand new shoes, thinking I need to break these in, but more importantly, I had all these reports I didn't want to do. So I said, I'll take Garfield for a walk. So I walk him. We're going out walking around, and I've walked with Garfield many times. And Garfield had a walker. You know what a walker is? It's a device used to trick old people because, nobody uses them properly. So he's sitting there walking with this thing out in front of him, and I'm walking. We go around the side of the building and along the service corridor, and he's walking in the grass, the wet, uneven grass. And I'm thinking, I sure am glad that I'm here because this isn't safe. And I'm thinking, should I walk with him or should I stay over here? And I looked down at my brand new shoes. So I stayed on the path. I stayed on the service road rather than walked in the grass with him. Then I'm daydreaming. I'm not really thinking about what I'm there to do, which is to be with him. I'm thinking about the paperwork, and I hear this, and I jump out of my shoes. Big horn right behind me, a big truck coming up. And he looks at me and he says, That's why I walk over here. I sure am glad you're here today to take care of me. Now the big finish I want to teach you. Yeah, so don't ever be fooled about who's taking care of who. I mean, caregiving is a relationship. It is not just a role. When you're in this relationship, it is two ways. How do you define success in a caregiver relationship? A lot of us don't really know how to define success. Because if it ends, for one reason or the other, we can't always take the success that might be there. I was working, years ago when I was cutting my teeth as a nurse. I was going to grad school. I had a young child that my wife and I, she had a role in that part of it. This was back when we were married. We had a young child, and I was going to grad school, and I was working full time, and I was always tired. And I had what I refer to as a mental filter. I was thinking about, I need money. I need money. I need money. I just kept thinking that over and over again. So when they came to me and said, Lon, we need you to work overtime tonight, I said, is it overtime? They said, yeah. I said, I'm there. So I took the job. Next thing I know, I didn't even ask. They tell me they want me to work in the intensive care unit. Now, I'm a nurse, I'm qualified to work in the intensive care unit by my formal training, but not by my experience. So I go into this intensive care unit and I'm like, wow. I'm like a 12-year-old kid walking into an arcade. I'm just overcome with all the noise, ding, 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 and all the sights. And I'm like, but I'm like a 12-year-old kid, I'm not excited because I don't have a bunch of quarters in my pocket and thinking high score. I'm thinking, what have I done? What have I done? I put myself in this bad situation because I was making the decision for the wrong reason. So here I am in the intensive care unit, and I got to get through it. I got to get through it. My only saving grace is I only had about three patients to take care of. You have a much lower ratio in an intensive care unit, and I had one of each kind. One of each kind. You just think about that for a second. Male, female, no. One of each kind, 3 patients. One that was clearly going to live and was leaving the ICU the next day. One that was clearly going to die. And one that needed me. I was going to make the difference in this person's life or death, literally. I knew what to do with the other 2. The one that was clearly going to die, just had to treat them with dignity and to make sure that they were not in pain. Show them and their family respect. That was easy. I knew how to do that. That was in me. The 3rd patient, I knew what to do there too. They were going home the next day. It was all good. I could joke around with them. We're springing you loose tomorrow. You're out of here. Don't need you anymore. Joking around like that. I could do that, no problem. But the one in the middle was one I didn't know how to take care of. This was a gentleman about my age now. He was a middle-aged gentleman. He'd had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. He was sitting in there. He was learning oriented. He was watching baseball on the TV on one side of the bed. On the other side of the bed was that reminder. Ding, ding, ding. And I'm just saying to myself, oh my gosh. Don't let me do anything that is going to change the course of this man's, unless it's for the good. Don't let me do anything that's going to affect this man. So I had negative thoughts in my mind, and they were swirling the whole night. I was clouded with this filter of negative thoughts. So when I'd go into room 1 and be compassionate and caring, I'd be fine. And then when I'd get ready to go into 3, I'd look into 2, make sure he's all right. I'd see him sitting there watching TV, paying attention to his monitor, ding, ding, and everything was good. And I'd go into 3, I'd joke around with him. And then on the way back, I'd look in again. And he picked up on my nervousness. I'd be looking, I'd walk, I'd go like this, look in there, and he'd pick up on it. He'd go, still here. So he was picking up on my emotions. When you're in this relationship, they're thinking about you as much as you're thinking about them. Around 2:30 in the morning, I was getting tired, and I said, you know what? Everybody else is fine for the night. It's this guy. It's me and him. If anything goes wrong with that monitor, I want to be right there. So I went and sat next to his bed. Sitting there next to his bed, watching TV and watching the monitor. Ding, ding, ding. You know what happened about 3 o'clock in the morning, right? I fell asleep. And I'm not just talking about my chin bouncing off my chest and popping back up. I'm talking about out and drool coming out of the side of my mouth. I was gone. I woke up to hear what has got to be the most frightening sound you ever want to hear as out professional. I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm a professional. I got to call out the code. I jump up on the guy's chest and I start beating on his chest. All the doctors start running in the room, and then I hear, "This has been a test of the emergency broadcast system." It was the TV, not the monitor. This has been a test of the emergency broadcast system. If you're looking for a negative, you'll find a negative. So I thought this guy was coding on me. Now here's the payoff. The funniest thing I think I've ever heard happen. He sits up in bed and he looks at me and he goes, "What the hell are you doing?" And then he says to me, he goes, "I just checked on you 5 minutes ago." And you were resting comfortably. So the message here is this is the big finish. So the message here is don't judge other people and other situations before you have a chance to immerse yourself in them and be aware of them and accept them for what they are. You know, this younger generation that's coming along, if you challenge them in the right times and the right ways, they may just surprise you. Let's not dismiss them entirely to be the generational talk. The caregiver side of the talk is, let's not be so quick to always assume that we're the ones in charge in these relationships. We are the ones responsible. We are responsible. We can't deflect the responsibility that we have. But when we're caring for other people or working with other people, they're caring for us too. And don't always be so strong that you can't recognize that and take the support that we're trying to offer you. When you need guidance, don't go to somebody you've always known, because you're going to get what you've always known. Go to somebody that's in the moment with you, that knows what you're going through, that is experiencing what you're going through. Dare I say, go to somebody that you love and that loves you. As a single man, I've heard this line before when they're breaking up with you. It's like, I love you. I'm just not in love with you. Now, I've never understood that until I immersed myself in this caregiver thing and taking guidance. Because, there's another saying, you only hurt the ones you love. Right? Well, if you want true, real feedback, you have to go to somebody that loves you because they will hurt you, not somebody that's in love with you because they won't. They'll just tell you what you want to hear. So look around the room or at your workplace. Look for the people that maybe love you but aren't in love with you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Lon. That was great.
Yeah, I got clothes all over the place.
We've never had anybody come up and try and strip before for us. So. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed that as much as I did.
Yes.
Hopefully you can use some of it to accumulate some points for your contest. Right now, I'd like to have all of the board members come up to the front, and we're going to have some introductions here, and you're going to stay up here. So if all the board members could work their way up toward the front. And along with that, I want to introduce Paul Pettit. Paul is going to be in charge of the awards presentation for tonight. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Paul.
Not the camera again. Throw me off. Okay. Thank you. All right. So the board. My name is Paul Pett. I'm on the board. I'm the chair of the membership committee and also the associate provider representative. I'll start here at the front here with Tom. Tom Kinray is the president. Tom, you want to? Jeremy. Jane. Chris. Megan. Our newest board member, Sherry. Rebecca. And Liz is also on the board, but she is not here right now. Physically. Her spirit, though. So it's my pleasure to present our new, for the first time, as Tom mentioned before, our CALA Awards program to you this evening. So thank you again for joining us. You got fed, entertained, and now it's time for some recognition. So with that, we're moving forward with the awards for our nominees. When I do this, the winners will be recognized for the outstanding service that they provide in their communities. So we announce each nominee for each of the categories. And when we do that, I'll ask that each of you stand up when your name is called so we can recognize you. And additionally, when the winner's name is announced, we'll ask for the winner and their supervisor / the executive director of the community come up with them as well to the front here. And also the executive director and or the recipient, the winner, is welcome to say a few brief words about their role in the community. And then after the award is received by the winner, the executive director / their supervisor will also receive a plaque that's going back to the community. You can hang it up for all to see and appreciate the award for forever, really. So with that, announce our awards. So we have 4 categories. First category is Outstanding Caregiver. Our second category is Outstanding Department Director. Outstanding Executive Director, over 32 beds. And Outstanding Administrator, 32 beds or less. So, Outstanding Caregiver. This category is for an employee of a CAL member who has direct contact with the resident in the provision of care. This person displays a consistent attitude of excellence and goes above and beyond his or her day-to-day job responsibilities. They demonstrate an exceptional commitment to those entrusted to their care. The caregiver nominees are Marlene Stark from the Colorado Assisted Living Homes. Marlene, yeah. Angela Hungerford from Covenant Village of Colorado. Debbie Mestis from Grand Villa Assisted Living. And Ed Shrek Lind from Vista Village. And the first winner in this category for caregiver is Debbie Mestis from the Grand Villa Assisted Living in Grand Villa. So to bring this story up, the executive director of Grand Villa is Rebecca Gray, working your way around back there. Okay.
Come on, Debbie. I just want to say about Debbie, when I told the community about the CALA Awards, that she had several of her co-workers nominate her. And I just also want to say that this is absolutely fabulous, but Debbie has been with Granvilla for 20 years. Debbie wears many hats. She's a QMAP. She is a leader amongst our staff. She's an activities assistant. She has the trust of her team, her managers, the residents, and their families. So thank you, Debbie. We're very lucky to have you with us.
Debbie receives the award, and Rebecca receives congratulations and plaque. I'm going to call Rebecca back up to the podium to present our next award. And Debbie can say something first, of course. Sorry, please.
I just want to say thank you. This is a real honor, and I'm very blessed.
Thanks, Debbie. Okay. So the next award that we're going to be, or the next winner we'll be recognizing, is for Outstanding Department Director. So the criteria for this award is any person employed in a middle management, department head, or supervisory level position in a CALA member assisted living community. The Outstanding Department Director Award honors those who go above and beyond to enhance the work environment in their assisted living community and the quality of life for their residents. So the nominees are Chad Townsend from Colorado Assisted Living, so Carol Pegg, Park Regency Premier Senior Living. Betsy Pite, Colorado Assisted Living. Emily Castle, Heritage House Assisted Living. And Tricia Kellogg, Sunshine Gardens West Assisted Living. So, and winner is Carol Pegg, from Park Regency Premier Senior Living. So come on up.
I've been in healthcare for 35 years, operating nursing homes, assisted living. I've had hundreds of employees work for me in many, many positions. Carol joined us about 4 years ago as marketing and admissions. She goes so far over and above what's necessary. And on the emotional side, she connects with everybody, with residents, with staff, with families. It's that trust that all of you and what we need in this industry is all about. When there's an issue or problem in any department, she steps up to the plate. Because she is so good at what she does, she is being trained to replace me as administrator. We also hope that, we had that seminar this afternoon, that you promote people that do the exceptional jobs all the time, and many times they can't do the job that you promote them in, This time, I know that she can do the job.
Thank you so much. This is quite an honor, and I'm so happy to be here and happy to work with the wonderful people that I work with. Jerry has taught me everything he knows, and I think I'm learning more. I work with his wife also, Judy, and she is a delight to watch her when she's with the residents. I just work with very wonderful, caring people, and I love our residents, and I know they love all of us in turn because they are truly family. So thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris. I'm here to present the 32 beds or less outstanding administrator. Let me get my glasses on here. If I crouch. Any administrator employed in a COLA member facility with at least 3 years of experience. This is a statewide award designed to honor those who go above and beyond to enhance the work environment in their assisted living facility and the quality of life for their residents and the communities they serve. Let's see. The administrator nominees are Tanya Adams, Country Home Assisted Living. The other nominee is Tammy Littlefield, Colorado Assisted Living Homes. And the award winner, administrator, is Tammy Littlefield, Colorado Assisted Living Homes.
Tammy started working for us 14